woman who lost both her legs in a fire has been told she can't compete in the Bristol half marathon because she'll be too slow. Joanne Blinman says it's discrimination.
But the council which organises the event says it can't afford to keep race support in place for what might be days. Sally Challoner reports.
Basically, both my legs was burnt from the toes up to my bum.
Jo Blinman is inspirational. 20 years ago, she lost both legs and two of her children in a house fire. Yet this year she wants to walk the Bristol half marathon to raise money for new prosthetic legs.
At the moment, they're too big. Obviously, would love to walk a bit more. I mean, I'm not going to walk all the time anyway. I've been told got to spend most of the time in a chair, but this one doesn't bend. And what's happened is I've sometimes got off my chair, and I've done it at Paul's place. Where it hadn't clicked in, I've gone smack straight on the floor. So, yeah, I look like a penguin when I'm walking.
Jo wants to enter with friends and supporters from the charity Paul's Place. They applied for 6 places, but were told no, they couldn't take part.
Well, quite ashamed, really. I mean, I'm always proud to be a Bristolian girl. You can hear that by my voice. But quite ashamed because I love all of the people here and we should be allowed to do everything that everyone else does.
The Bristol half is run by the City Council. Roads need to be closed, volunteers and race officials found and trained. They've offered Jo's team the chance to enter as guests, as long as they put their own measures in place, in effect organising their own event.
Because they're anticipating taking longer than everyone else, they would basically need to be at the back with the slower participants. They can keep going as long as the roads are open, but after that period of time they will need to move on to the pavement. And then obviously if they're continuing beyond that time, they need to make their own provision for medicine, water, support generally.
In the past, some runners in the London Marathon have taken days, even weeks, to complete the course. But here too, runners now need to finish within 24 hours. And in Bristol, these pilots wanted to carry a helicopter blade around the course. They were asked to provide their own support too.
We need to find ways that we can participate in things, not why we can't.
Come September the 21st this year, they hope they'll have come to a compromise with the race organisers. But if not, they say they'll be taking part anyway. Sally Challoner, BBC Points West.
Well, joining us now is Kath Oldham, who founded the charity Paul's Place that you saw there in Sally's report. You're obviously disappointed, but rules are rules. Isn't there a case that if she can't finish in the allotted time, it's fair that she doesn't enter?
No, because we're not all the same. And what they've done is they put something in place to say that you all have to be the same, otherwise you can't compete. And we're not all the same, and we're not asking them, for us to compete in that amount of time. We're actually saying, please, we will do our own health and safety, we were doing it our own risk, we have our own insurance in place, allow us to continue till we're finished.
So were you ever expecting stewards to be laid on? Because it might take a week for her to finish. Were you ever demanding those sorts of things?
And we explained that to the council. We said that we would put all our own safety in place and all our own risk in place, but still, we weren't given places.
Now, you've been told you can wear numbers, you can have medals, and you can start with the other competitors. Does it really matter if it's not officially the same event?
How can that be equality? How can it be that if you have a disability, that you're not classified the same as everyone else? That has to be wrong. It can't be right to do that. And that's our council saying it.
Now, what Jen has achieved is incredible. Where are you going to go from here? Is she still going to take part?
We're all still going to take part because things are right and things are wrong. And we do know that there's always a consequence of what you do, and we're prepared for whatever consequence there is, but we will be there at the start. Okay. And we will finish it when we finished.
Okay, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
It's 20 to 7 and we're